I just felt it's high time I created a video on this topic. I want to learn how to code. I don't know where to start. It's becoming repetitive and I get a lot of DMs, like a lot of them. Uh, so this video is specific to that. You may want to just save the link to this video somewhere and like refer back to it every time you think you need a way forward, even if you're already in tech. Okay? So it's going to be about how to get started in tech. It's a very simple topic, right? But it's just that many people we need to keep saying it, right? So yeah, I'm Precious Kolawole. Welcome to the channel if you are a new subscriber, and big thanks to the people that have been here so far. I think I reached 1,000 subscribers recently, which is something I'm very excited about. Having followers on YouTube is not an easy task, right? So thank you so much for being here. I'm a dev degree intern at Shopify. I code for a living, and yeah, I love coding. It's my hobby. So let's just dive right into the topic. I want to learn how to code. I don't know where to start. I personally plan to put a lot of impactful stuff in this video, okay? Although most of the points may sound regular to you because people keep saying it on the media, you keep hearing it every day. But what difference it's going to make is that I'm going to speak with you from my own wealth of knowledge, from my experience having to deal with people and helping people get into the tech space over the years, okay? So when it comes to getting started in the tech world, I would say you need to choose your tech path. That's the first thing, honestly. Tech space is very, very diverse. And you need to start exploring different tech domains like software engineering, data science, or front-end development, back-end development, what else? UI, UX designing. So you need to explore each of this, not like exploring per se. You need to be able to choose one out of these many disciplines. Having to choose can be very, very difficult, honestly. It's like you have a lot of things in front of you and they are telling you to pick one where you don't even know what's going to happen after you dive into it. You don't know if it's something you are going to grow up to like, or if it's something it's not even related to your interest at all, right? So when it comes to that, one helpful tip is that go online and read blog posts about all the tech domains. There are many articles professionals have written over the years. So go online, read, or read maybe the first article you see after you put the topic in your Google search, right? Read about all the different tech domains we have, the roles, what they do, what the kind of thing they interact with day to day. And you have to make a connection between what you are reading and your whole personal life. There is no way you want to be successful if you are doing something you genuinely don't like. So one tip is that try to think about your hobbies, your interests, the things you enjoy doing. One thing is, if you are someone who is a visual learner, you like seeing images, videos, what else? Architectures, diagrams. You may start thinking about UI, UX. You may start thinking about front-end development, right? And if you are this person who enjoys video games, though this is not like a straight tip, like it's not like if you do it, you get what you want, right? But this life is all about exploring, anyways. So you need to think about those things and try to make a connection. As I was saying, you need to look into the particular tech domain and think about your interest. Like I said, if you are someone who loves video games, then you may start thinking of game development. Maybe you can start thinking of game development. And yeah, there are many examples like that. And also, one thing you can also think of is, okay, where am I currently? Am I an undergraduate? Am I in school? Am I a high school student? Am I a working class? If you are still like a high school student, that is when your interest comes in. What are the things you enjoy doing, right? When you are like still in high school. However, as you progress, maybe you are in the university, you can start thinking of, okay, I'm in the university, what course am I studying, right? Based on the course you are studying, how is this course applicable to the tech fields we have? How can I combine what I'm studying to the particular tech field I want to dive into, the tech domain I want to dive into? And it's a lot of goal setting, it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of thinking, but honestly, you are going to get it right. So you can start thinking of how to combine the course you are studying at school with each of those tech domains. Which one is going to be more fun? Honestly, that's the best part of coding. It must be something you enjoy. It must be very fun to you. And if you are a working class already, that's when you can start thinking of, okay, what did I study while in school? Or what degree have I obtained, right? Based on your degree, how do I want to make a connection between my degree and this particular field I'm trying to dive into? Apart from that, think of the day-to-day role. Some people, they are doing something very different from what they studied at school. You may want to apply tech into your day-to-day role, and you can just think of, oh, let me combine it to the degree I've already had, right? So there are a lot of things to consider, and one big thing is think about your hobbies, think about your interests, and then you can think of passion, after goals, like the things you see yourself doing when you grow older, right? Okay, so those are the points when it comes to choosing a tech career path. Maybe you've cited, oh, I like UI UX designing, I like data science. Then you have to set a clear goal. When I mean setting a clear goal, you need to know what you need to learn to be able to function in that particular tech domain. So this is where I would say, if you are trying to go into tech and you don't have a LinkedIn profile, my dear sister, my dear brother, oh my gosh, you are missing out. So I would say you need a LinkedIn profile. It's just very basic. Open a LinkedIn account, right? And then go on LinkedIn, try and look at the people working in that tech domain. For example, if you want to dive into data science, I would say go on LinkedIn, try and look up data scientists on LinkedIn, see the skills they have on their profile. After looking at the skills they have on their profile, write them down somewhere and then set goals to learn each of those programming languages to get each of. Apart from you having those skills on your portfolio, I would say some people, they just want to learn coding for fun. Some people, they want to learn coding to get a job. Some people, they just want to get rid of poverty. They just want to get rid of lack of money and stuff, which is totally fine, right? So I would say if that is your goal, you need to look at data scientist roles at companies. If like you can have a dream company you want to work for, right? So probably you want to be a data scientist at Google. So you can go on Google Careers website and then look at all the skills they are requesting from a data scientist, and then you write all these things down. After knowing those things you want to learn, those programming languages, the next thing is you learning those basics. You have to take them from the easy ones to the complex ones, right? If you want to become a data scientist, you don't want to dive into machine learning model building right off the bat, right? You want to start from the basics and like Python, which is the simplest stuff. I know looking at LinkedIn, see the skills you need to have does not necessarily mean it has been structured. It's like a roadmap or like learn this, go to this, go to this. This is where the help of community is going to come in. I would say we have many people in the tech space that are advocates, right? They advocate for this thing, they advocate for people to come into the tech space. So I would say, get the best out of your local community. Look at the people that are already functioning in that field that you can connect with. When I say connect with, it's not like you making them friends per se. It can simply be you following them on their social media pages. There are people who just post things regularly. For example, myself and my mentor, we recently worked on a roadmap to data science and machine learning because we saw the need for people to have a roadmap. Most people, they just get started the way they want to start, right? Just it's not their fault, they just don't have the structure. So we decided to build the roadmap and then we share it with the people in the community. So this is something you can definitely take advantage of if you don't know, okay, out of all these programming languages, which one am I going to pick first, right? So having to follow all these people, you should be able to get like a roadmap. If I come up with any other tip on having to structure your timeline better, probably I'll add it in the comment section or something. So after you finding out, okay, I want to get started in data science and I know I want to start with Python, then what's next? You have to look for online learning platforms. Some people are like very, very much privileged. They have the money, they have the resources to purchase courses. And while some of us, we just have to like do away with what we see, right? It's not a problem if you cannot pay for a resource. There are many free platforms, free resources. The difference is going to be like budget. The cost you are going to pay for is going to be more packed than the one you are going to see online for free. However, you shouldn't be dated by this, honestly. Let's say you want to learn Python. The next thing is to find online learning platform when you can take a Python course. And I'm going to list a few examples. When I wanted to start coding, I did not know where to start, honestly. I even started with one dermatology course because I thought I wanted to become a dermatologist, right? So I finished the dermatology course. Then I knew also that I wanted to connect dermatology or whatever healthcare stuff I'm doing with tech. So I took another course called AI for Healthcare by Andrew Henji on Coursera. So I took this particular course. However, after finishing the course, I was already getting the idea of what I wanted to do. This is how it works for most people also. So I would say look for learning platforms. The first one is Coursera. The second one is there is EDX website. There is Khan Academy for people that want to learn statistics, linear algebra in the machine learning space. There is Khan Academy. There is Udemy. All of these places I've mentioned so far, they are free, okay? So there is Udemy, there is Udacity. I can't remember most of them. I can attach them to the videos, okay? However, something people are also not really sure of is, okay, for example, Coursera now, if you want to sign up on Coursera, some courses are actually to be paid for. However, there is financial aid on Coursera. So if you want to use Coursera for free, you just have to write an essay just to describe why you want. I can't remember the prompt exactly, but they just want to know why you want to take the course and how the course is going to impact whatever you want to do, basically. So you just draft something simple, highlighting your passion, your strength, the things you want to do, blah blah blah, and then you submit it on Coursera. Funniest thing, no matter what you write, I've submitted many financial aids on Coursera. No matter what you write, Coursera is going to grant you. That does not mean you writing or putting up rubbish, okay? So I would say, so write your financial aid for Coursera and you will be good to go. Also, I want to mention Udemy. I think Udemy platform, most of the courses on Udemy, they are to be paid for. However, that's also where I would go back to you leveraging your online communities. I've taken so many courses in my life, so many certifications, and I've never had to use my money to pay for any of them. I remember taking a course on Udemy and it was through my scholarship. I also did another one on Udacity machine learning engineering course or something, and it was all paid for. So there are people in the community that are putting these things out for free, so you can take advantage of them. Be active on social media. I know social media can be very, very distracting, honestly, very, very distracting. However, you should know your goal, you should know your focus. So it's pretty much you going there and tapping into what you need, right? So connect with people in the space that provide these resources and you will be good to go, okay? So that's it about you knowing the online learning platforms you want to take advantage of. However, some people get to ask me questions about the computing devices. I think that's going to lead me to my fourth or fifth point. The computing devices, we have different laptops, we have different specs, and okay, just bring this in, when I started coding, I used my phone to code, my Android phone. But it's not advisable to use your Android phone to write your code. Not advisable at all. It's very stressful. It's not friendly. You have to. It's not just nice. It's not nice at all, right? So I would say if you can get yourself a mini laptop, even if you have the money for MacBook, yes, you are good. Some people, there is also this battle between MacBook versus Windows, right? But if you have the money for MacBook and you may want to use the MacBook for your learnings also. I know some people, they are in school and their school require MacBook as the laptop spec they need, right? So if you have the money for laptop MacBook, go for it. M1 chip, M2 chip, go for it. If you have money for Windows, go for Windows. I would say it does not matter the type of Windows machine you get. People think programming is something very crazy, like you need all the tech gadgets in the world just to write a few lines of code just to say hello world. It's not like that. Having a mini laptop, Chromebook, Lenovo, what else, HP, we have many of them. Any one you can get. Most people try to go for 500 HDX and also 8 GB RAM. Most people try to go for 8 GB RAM, 500 or HDX. However, if you can't get those ones, it's okay if you have 4 GB RAM. It's good. It will work. Yeah. Even if you have 270, I know that there is 270 and other few ones. If you have 270 HDX, it works totally fine. Unless you are doing something on cloud that requires like higher computing power. Unless that. Otherwise, you are good. Having known the laptop you want to get the laptop. And also, if you are still not like well-rounded to get the laptop you desire, people are doing laptop giveaways. My first laptop was a giveaway on Twitter. So people are doing a lot of laptop giveaways. However, you have to put in the work, put in the effort. They won't just see you, hey, this person is trying to learn how to code, and then throw the laptop at you. It doesn't work that way. You must have seen the things you are doing, despite not having the laptop, and you must be able to tell your story. That's one part of winning things online. You must be able to tell your story. No one is going to open your stomach and see whatever thing you have in there. So you have to be able to speak. There is this thing I saw online recently. The best people we see out there, they are people who go indoor, do the work, and then they come outside to showcase what they've done, to tell people what they've done. That's pretty much how it works. Okay. So if you are in that tight corner, I would say do the work and also apply online, and you will be good. Okay. So that's pretty much it about the laptop specs. Having known all of these things, then the next thing is start learning. It's as simple as that. Start learning. Okay. So you want to be diligent. Having to code is not fun at all. It's not fun. It's traumatizing. It's overwhelming. It makes you have unnecessary imposter syndrome. You feel like you are not doing enough. Sometimes you just want to bang your head on the table, on the door. It happens, right? So you must be disciplined. No one is going to wake you every day. If you have a sister or a brother who is going to tell you, hey, pick up your laptop, you are lucky. No one is going to wake you up every day to pick this thing up, because it's frustrating and annoying, right? But you must be very disciplined to pick it up every day and keep going, right? Be consistent. Be consistent. I've seen people that would tell you, hey, today I'm learning Python. They will spend 1 year learning Python. At the end of that year, they still cannot say, oh, this is the program I've written. And the following year, you see them, they are in front-end development learning HTML and CSS. It doesn't work that way. It's not structured, right? So be consistent, pick up your laptop, wake up every day. There is this thing I always say, put in the work, put in the hours, and you will see the result. Okay. So the next point this is going to lead me to is coding bootcamps. Coding bootcamps help so much. And when I mean coding bootcamps, you can get coding bootcamps from like your community. One thing I did actually was to join the communities at my school back in OAU, Obafemi Awolowo University of Nigeria. So we had different communities on campus helping people. It's just like you having people to walk through the journey together. Yes, it's pretty much like that. You having people to do the stuff together, to collaborate, to gist, to talk about your problems. So having communities like that is really, really helpful. And most of these communities, they have boot camps, they have hackathons, they have a lot of those things. Try and participate. In as much as you are learning, try and do all of this community stuff. Sign up for hackathons, compete with others. Trust me, it's very fun, very exciting. Yes. So try and do all these coding boot camps, do hackathons, compete with people, see your scores on the leaderboard. It's very fun. I remember doing this thing so much when I was at OAU. Honestly, it's so much fun. It keeps you busy, it keeps you happy, it keeps you alive. You just see yourself watching the leaderboard. Oh, where am I right now? Have I dropped? Is my model building? Okay, that's just machine learning because I do machine learning, right? I know there is one coding boot camp in Nigeria called HNG, and it's just like you paired up with other people trying to build a particular product. You have new tasks every week and you have deadlines, so you have to like keep building, it's very, very fun. And that's HNG for people in software engineering and all of those things. If you are in data science or machine learning, Data Science Nigeria is your best bet. Join Data Science Nigeria. And if you are not in Nigeria, I'm sorry, we have many of them. We have ML8, Major League Hacking. Yeah, Major League Hacking. And they have Discord channels, they have places you can interact with people. So yeah, that's pretty much it about coding bootcamps. So I would also say when it comes to joining local communities, it's something that can take you like days to research about. But if you are a woman, or more, you get leverage because people are trying to get more women into the tech space these days. So you get more leverage. There is Women Tech Network, Women Tech Maker, Girls Who Code, She Code Africa. What else? There are many. There are many out there. So just look up these communities and try and be part of them. Apart from that, also, if you are someone who is leaning towards the open source space, Open Source Community Africa is your best bet. Yeah. And also, since I came to Canada for like 1 year plus now, I've worked with many girls organizations, and most of them is just to get the underrepresented people, the binary people, girls into the tech space. So you being among these people, and funniest thing, if you're a man, it's not like you are excluded. You can be a mentor. Try and join this community, even as a member. Try and join them. So, okay, I'm going to list the few ones I've joined since I came to Canada. I've joined Technovation, Techsploration, or Evolution, Stemming Up. There are so many out there, okay? So try and join them. And if you are in school, you have a leverage. If you are in school, we have different campuses, communities at school you can join. Okay, try and leverage on those things. Okay, so having done all of these things, I would say volunteering. Most people, they believe if they don't know everything in the world, they cannot volunteer, they cannot teach others, which is a big lie. Okay, so don't be intimidated by all the big people in the tech world. Even the big people in the tech world, they started from somewhere. Okay, so no matter what you've learned, no matter what you've understood, don't look down on yourself. Be able to pass on the knowledge. There is definitely somebody out there who is going to rise based on whatever you are going to tell them. Okay, so don't limit yourself. Be the voice, share it with others. All right, so try and volunteer. When people are having hackathons, look over those things, manage it with them, organize things with them, teach people, speak at conferences, sign up for mentorship and you will be good. Those are the ways you can continue to build yourself. Okay, having said this, I would say open source contribution. I mentioned open source contribution briefly the other time. However, open source is a very big topic we shouldn't just put aside. Okay, my phone is definitely tired of me using it to record, so I had to switch to my iPad. I was talking about open source contribution. Open source contribution is so important, and it's not something we can just set aside or not talk about. Open source contribution is very life-changing. It's just sad that most people don't know about open source, and most people, they don't know how to contribute to open source. Open source contribution is a full-time role. It's something you can boldly tell people, what do you do? I'm an open source contributor, right? And it's pretty much because many of the tools we get to use day to day, they are open source products, they are open source projects. And one thing people are also concerned about is, do I have to code to contribute to open source? But the answer is no. You can contribute to open source by just, if you are a technical writer, you can contribute to open source. If you are a UI UX designer, you can contribute to open source. Regardless of what you do, it can be pretty much you just managing the project documentation and many other things along the line. So open source is a very big thing. I have someone who has been a very big open source contributor over the years, and she is so big right now. I think her name is Ruti Kega, and she's like the first GitHub star in Africa. She did all of this by just contributing to open source. So the point is, open source contribution is something you should consider while being in the tech space. Another thing is certification. Most people are like, I've heard many conversations on Twitter and many other social media platforms when people say, oh, Certifications are not necessary in the tech field. Experience is what matters. They are right, experience is what matters. However, having certifications is also as important as you having the experience. Though if you are trying to get a job, they won't, or you are in an interview situation scenario, they won't necessarily ask you for the certifications you've acquired. Some may ask. However, having this on your resume, they really count. So try and get certified, or there are professional courses you can take also. So try and get certified. That is the point. So this is going to take me to the next thing I want to talk about, and that's you building your portfolio. I remember when I started coding and I was trying to apply for jobs, I saw that on the website, on most of these websites, they will ask you, please add a link to your portfolio. Please add a link to your website, to your personal page, right? And you having something like that makes so much sense. Okay, at that time I remember learning HTML and CSS with JavaScript and Bootstrap just to build myself a portfolio website. It was so ugly, yeah, very ugly. And one of the things I did, which I'm very, very proud of right now, is putting that particular portfolio website out there, especially on Twitter, and then getting feedback from people. And based on the feedback, I was able to rebuild the portfolio website. Even someone even volunteered on Twitter to build a portfolio website that with me, which made it very beautiful after, right? So building a portfolio website for yourself, it's like branding yourself, rebranding. You are moving from a particular level to another level. So having a new brand that showcases what you do, it's just the hit. Okay, so yeah, it's okay to have a portfolio website. If you are a UX designer and you are like, oh my god, I can't build a portfolio website, you can get someone in the front-end development space to build something simple for you. And funniest thing, you don't even need to hire people. You can, like I said when we started, you need discipline, you need to be consistent, you need motivation, right? There are websites, there are platforms where you can easily build a website. Everything is structured for you. You just have to like do a few drag and drops and you'll be able to build something very beautiful and nice that tells the world about your story. Okay, and the first one I remember right now is WordPress. WordPress is very simple, very easy to use. I remember having a friend when I was in school. He built his portfolio website with WordPress and it was superb. Okay, so yeah, so build a portfolio website for yourself. And also the next thing is networking. It cannot be overemphasized. Yes, it's very necessary for you to network. That's why we have LinkedIn. Network on LinkedIn, network on Twitter. Most of these communities, they have tech conferences. Try and attend tech conferences also. And how do you know tech conferences exist? It's by you networking with people and you get referrals from those people. Hey, there's this thing happening here. And you just pack your bag, everything in your suitcase, and then you go. You network in those conferences also. And that's one of the biggest tips when you are trying to get a job after getting all of these skills we've been talking about. So yeah, it's very essential for you to network with people. We have local communities, form communities, be vocal, be the voice of the people, and yeah, and you'll be good to go. So that's pretty much it about networking. So right now I'm going to go into soft skills. Yeah, soft skills are as important as you having the technical skills. And I know people, you all know what I mean about soft skills, and it's like communication, storytelling if you're a data scientist, what else, team management, and all of those things. And how can you get all of these skills? Is by you volunteering. You can build the ability to communicate effectively by volunteering. You can build the ability to manage your time very well. How do you know you are managing your time very well? It's by having workload and seeing how far you can go with them, how tolerant you are. Okay, so it's by volunteering, and which is something I've already mentioned. So make sure you gather soft skills as well as the major skills. So many people will be like, Precious, you've been talking about the things we need to do so far, and you've not even mentioned having a mentor. Having a mentor is good, but you can also do without a mentor actually. Most people just want to have a mentor first before doing anything, which is a little bit wrong. The mentors they have the things they do, they have their priorities. So you must be equally as energetic as they have if you are trying to have someone be your mentor. Okay, so I would say it's important for you to have a mentor. If you see someone you really like, you can reach out, put yourself there, and they will consider you, and part of having a mentor is you attending tech conferences and networking. Okay, so you can try to have a mentor to guide you and all of those things. However, you may not need a mentor. Having a mentor is you just having someone who has walked through the path you are trying to walk through and is ready to guide you as you make more progress. So at the early stage, you may not need a mentor per se. Also, most of these organizations we've been talking about, like She Code Africa, Women Tech Network, they have mentorship programs. So if you sign up for something like that, they automatically assign a mentor to you, and the person gets to work with you throughout the program. So it's as straightforward as that. Maybe it's kind of straightforward to me, but if you feel any part of what I've said so far it's a little bit confusing, put them in the chat section and I'm going to try my best to address them. Okay, so that's pretty much it when it comes to how to get started in the tech space. I'm not sure if I've been able to make justice to this topic. Yeah, but I don't know, whatever. Give me your feedback in the chat section. Thank you so much for listening up to this point. It's really a long video. Thank you so much for listening, and do well to share. I'm very sure a lot of people out there really need to listen to this, right? Try and share with people. If you see anyone who wants to get into the tech space and they don't know how best to dive into it, share the video with them. And yeah, try by sharing also, it's like you contributing towards another person's success stories, because we are here to win in the tech space, right? So yeah, try and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in my next video. Bye.